1989.
Play for the first game. I forgot that.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to some lovely WARNO League actions as we have Gnef versus Kommy here in another Division 1 quarterfinals matchup, which is quite lovely as both of these players, uh, pretty high level players as well, both have been around for a long while. Gnef being a top level player in Steel Division already, in active aggression as well. If you want to find somebody who was good in active aggression and can teach you how to play that amazing Yujin game, ask Gnef. He will be able to answer you there. But they're also both really great in WARNO as well. And Kommy lately, actually, arguably more so than Gnef, though Gnef has shown a lot of high quality plays as well. So both really high on the ladder as well. So I'm pretty excited for this matchup here in the quarterfinals. Winner will play against Team in Place versus Yuki Por, another absolute hype matchup here. Just top level players remaining here in Division 1, obviously. I mean, we went into the group stage with a lot of almost only top level players, and now it's really the creme de la creme. So, absolutely excited here. Couple of upsets already in the group stage. Upset here for sure in the playoffs already as well. Let's see if we will have more here. Also, if you want to support the tournament, you can still do so via Matcherino, guys. Big thanks to Matrine and Lenny Lenkova coming in here with the latest contribution, getting us up to $231. So yeah, this is quite interesting and quite cool. And we have an interesting matchup between two divisions that both sides like a lot as well here. Especially Gnef here, coming around with the 11th Parachutist, the division that Gnef played more than most likely anybody else on this planet, and really has perfected whenever Mr. Derek's needs intel on the current state of 11th, the first person that he asks is Gnef, and that is for good reason. So Gnef on his absolutely favorite division, but I feel like Bromi picked a division here that is, in my eyes, the best counter against what 11th does. And that is another pretty aggressive division here with Territorial Kommando Süd. Territorial Kommando Süd has cheap fighters, good long-range AA, both helping out against the aircraft, and then also has good, strong forward deployment plus cheap infantry mix, and the AMX-10 RC, which beats the ERC, which also can start to killing off enemy vehicles early on, and then M48s, which are just cheap spammable tanks here as well. So interesting matchup for sure. And as I said, I think the TKS here actually having a quite good one in this one. I always enjoy when I get to face 11th with TKS on the ladder, though it's seldom that I run into Gnef there. And even if I feel comfortable in the matchup, I wouldn't be super comfortable against it when Gnef is on the other side. So quite interested to see how it goes here with these two high-level players on the line. Best of 3 match, guys, so we will at least see 2, possibly 3 maps. The players banned 3 maps at the beginning out of the 6 map pool. The rest of the 3 maps are going to be picked in these matches, with potentially 1 not being played, but we will see what the upcoming maps here will bring, what the upcoming matchups will bring, and yeah, who will get themselves to match ball here in game number 1. Action is on. We have Paramarines here coming on. A lot of forward deployment, obviously here. VVL Recon with the 50 cal, which is an interesting little unit here. We have ML6012 with the 60mm gun as well. No ERC or anything like that. On the other side, we have the AMX-10 RCs here, coming around towards the center. One Fallschirmjäger B1 here in the center, and a BGS 9-man squad. Not as OP as they had been when they were only MP5. That was one of the most amazing squads ever in WARNO history. Currently, they are still decent though, for 35 points. Bringing recon to the board, bringing still a couple of MP5s, so their CQC is not terrible, though it's not as amazing as it once was. Fallschirmjäger B1 up north, they still have a lot of MP5s, with a Green Beret here coming in as well. Some cheap Heimatschützen with some Milan 1s coming along. The Milan 1, 3 Milan 1s quite interesting, as they also come in M113 with Milan 1 on top. Surprising amount of ATGM vehicles here against the opener of Gnef, as obviously 11th not known for doing a vehicle spam, but yeah, we're gonna see how this goes. Milan 1 of Gnef on the other side already got the first kill. Feldjäger here, having to be careful. Another MP5 unit. Heimatschützen coming around, profiting out of the Feldjägers. Nice buff on stress recovery as well. BBL recons in the north getting sniped. The AML 60 as well. So the vehicles of Gnef here killed off. But the AMX-10 goes down over here as well. Milan 1's doing their job for Gnef here. Both AMX-10 RC lost early on here for Pro Kommy, and that is a big loss. That is really a big loss here in this TKS versus 11th matchup. But Pro Kommy still able to get into this point over here. Whilst we have another one of these vehicle plops for Gnef coming around. But with the Milans being everywhere, I'm not sure how successful they're gonna be. Roland 3 and iHawk, really good AA as well. So any Mirage F1C 200s will need to be careful here flying around like that. Lucky this time around that the Roland can't find a hit. Meanwhile, big infantry push in the north. Will we see any F104s coming around for some bombing run? Not so far. Both sides having strong attack aircraft. F104, the Starfighter, really fast, high level bomber that is only barely getting into range of the Mistrals if it drops from high altitude. Has to fly nearly directly above them. Mistrals at least having a bit more range than the standard manpad, but still not amazing there. Dealing good damage though. Meanwhile, Milan's down here, killing off a bit more AML 60s. So the infantry gets overwhelmed, and it seems like Gnef is on the way through to the rear here. At the same time, we see double artillery from Pro Kommy being, it seems like, happy with the frontline situation, which is somewhat surprising. Like the double artillery this early on. Though it is quite a strong play against the French as well. Artillery is another reason why I like TKS versus 11th. If you ever can get it to stale out, you have the way better artillery. And then you can slowly but surely whittle them down. Or in this case, maybe not even that slowly. Para Command already down. Superb Para on the fire as well. Fallschirmjäger B1 and Milan's going down here in the north as well. At the same time though, so Pro Kommy losing the front line that allowed the artillery to hit the enemies whilst stationary. So the reinforcements here can't arrive fast enough. Heimatschützen dying everywhere as well. The red death list here is pretty long. Another Milan coming around. BGS and Pioneer Armbrust trying to move forward. Sonderwagen 4 with its little MG on top, trying to help out in the engagements. Whilst Pro Kommy somehow ending up still on +1 for now. Same time, Jaguar Seed with its one armored anti-radiation missile coming around, but the Rolands and iHawks being microed here. VRLA, LRA with the 20mm getting a bit of damage in, so not too much. At the same time, Puma Pirat coming around here on the side. That's another reason why TKS is pretty decent against 11th, because they have a good anti-helicopter unit here that can deal with those cheap low hit point helicopters that 11th can throw around. And the iHawk and Roland help out a bit as well, finishing up the Gazelles and the Puma there. But Gnef is pushing further forward here up north. Artillery currently not hitting as well. BGS and Sonderwagen in the south getting eliminated as well. Gazelle Cannon from the other side around though. And there's no AA here for Gnef just yet. Milan 1 with a nice snipe here on the ERC as well. Gazelle Cannon continues to engage here. Seed coming around. Cluster coming in next, trying to hit the Roland. Will hit the Roland there. Roland 3 going down. Not the greatest start here for Pro Kommy. iHawk at least able to disengage. Gazelle Cannon sitting around. Milan 1, can that find the hit? It actually can find some damage, but I believe that was with a super close miss. As it seems like with some low chance you can still get damage there. Stun this time around. More VLRA 20mm action against Gazelle Cannons. seemingly working out once more here against this 55-point unit. Gina Rocket coming in next. So a couple blue units dying, but the push of Gnef still pretty threatening here for Pro Kommy. Gina Rocket under fire, Mirage 200 versus Mirage 2000s. The F1C 200s winning that fight, actually, getting both the Gina and the Mirage 2000. Unfortunate times here for Pro Kommy in the air fight, as these Mirage 200s surviving way more than you would expect out of them, dodging quite a couple of IHawk missiles as well. So really somewhat unlucky, the player in red here in the air engagements. As in the meantime, we have a CV closing in on the south, starting to capture that. Gnef starting to take here now with a +1, soon to be +2, as the Mirage 200 still flying around the battlefield. 155mm artillery trying to go around, not finding any kill. A lot of Kanonenjagdpanzer here coming in on the low ground, getting some shots off, but the infantry got into the building beforehand. Gnef losing a lot of helicopters here. IHawk about to be reloaded as well, so that might actually be somewhat painful for the Mirage. If the IHawk hits now, it would kill that Mirage. It finds a kill there. Finally, Mirage 2000 going down, 200 going down. Good kill there, but the infantry in the north still annoying. 155mm currently not firing. The Milan 1 here in the middle still finding some recon vehicles. Only a stun so far though. As in the meanwhile, Gnef reinforcing the south. No AA there, but no real AA needed. The MX-10RC being brought up, BGS brought up. 155mm really could use some action once more. Sniper against the M113. M113 not even having any anti-infantry. Only having the Milan on top. No MG in the front at all. So it can't engage the sniper SAS here at all. Meanwhile, Milan and 50 cal open up. Milan does miss actually. BBL though, the other 50 cal already stressing it out quite a bit. Can the Milan here still find the shot on the short distance? Yes, it can. Trading out there. Meanwhile, F104 with some bombing action, finding a Mistral. Rolands and IHawk still going around. Gazelle Rocket going around as well. AML 60 moving closer. More hits here on infantry units on the ground, whilst the Gina gets hit by some Mistrals. Seed still coming around, trying to find some action. AML 60 here, just going deep. Moving around with its 60mm HE gun. MX-10RC could use some reinforcements here in the south. Doesn't just want to push in like that. Milan 1 goes down to a sniper SAS. BGS most likely gonna be revealed here in a second. No ATGM against the Sagai this time around. VLRA under fire. As we see some Gazelles coming up. Ooh, the Roland and the IHawk here in trouble. Roland getting stunned down over there. Kanonenjagdpanzer not helping out. IHawk actually going down to the ML60 most likely. Ooh, gets loaded into the truck just in time. But there's an ERC on the other side, so running into that, not really what you want to do either. A bit caught between a rock and a hard place. Trying to disengage to the north. It's a guy currently not engaging it. Being focused onto the Fallschirmjägers instead. AML trying to come around. Nothing here with AP power. Stop the AML. This is really tense for Pro Kommy. So far able to disengage. Gazelle coming around. Another Starfighter coming around. Another Mirage going down to the Mirage 2000 of Pro Kommy as well. Finally the kill list filling with blue units for once here. And another Unimog going down. Gazelle Cannon not able to stop the AML though. This is still highly frustrating. Engaging the vehicles here in the rear now as well. Oh wow, this is wild here. The ML60 just driving through, not finding anything that can shoot at it. The 20mm can't do it either. And we have 2 more AML-60s coming in from the north. Kanonjagdpanzer could engage it, but they instead move forward, getting killed off by Apilas launchers. And oh no, it's going really red here again this time around. Kommy not doing so hot there. That was an absolute disaster. Like, those AML-60s bringing way more trouble than they ever should be. Like, if they would have been cleaned up, I feel like this game, and the Jagdpanzer would have moved backwards. I felt like this game was actually starting to go pretty decent for Kommy, but using all the non-Jagdpanzers up front and then losing every important rear unit here to these AML-60s is a devastating blow. Gazelle Cannons trying to move forward. That is really devastating. Another artillery piece going down. The Roland 3 goes down. F-104 now being hunted. Mirage 2000 not really having the missiles. That's always an issue of the French, that you just don't have that many missiles on them. And yeah, the Gazelle Cannon not being able to find the AML-60s. The Kanonjagdpanzer is not able to find them. All of that. Bit of a like a heavy misplay by Kommy, a unusual misplay by Kommy, who usually is so stable in the earlier stages of the game, but this really didn't go the way of our player in the red. And fantastic play by Gnef, showing why Gnef is so scary with the French forces here. Our player from Spain, F-104 versus Mirage. Not the best air-to-air fighters here, the F-104s. AM9Ls, not the worst air-to-air missile, but by far not the best either. Getting the kill there finally, though. Starfighter getting out here. Mirage 2000 killed off on Gnef's side around, but the ground losses here is so heavy. We have 155mm still around, but no AA here around, and no artillery to start to clean up the infantry of Gnef in high enough numbers. The Kanonjagdpanzers without support, just running into Apilas. Really tough situation for our player in red. I am somewhat hard pressed to find a way on how that could be solved. Zil Cannons trying to move forward. Starfighter not finding a target. Mirage 2000 and Agena coming around. Ilta's leader trying to come in. Same time, units over here dying already. Yeah, Mistral finds another Gazelle Cannon kill, and we have 3 infantry units and an artillery piece against something like 10-12 infantry squadron, couple of vehicles, couple of AA manpads, and a good bit of ATGM action as well. This game is not going the way of Kommy here right now. Gina Rockets trying to find a way in, but yeah, GG is called, and that should be Gnef's game. Yeah, Gnef winning game number 1 here in really strong Gnef 11th para action. And yeah, Kommy just not quite getting it on the board. The EML-60s here with way too many kills, which is really unfortunate. Not enough AT rocket launchers. The Milan ones were actually in good numbers, but they were not quite in the same spots. And yeah, Kommy here getting beaten in game number 1. First little upset here. As I said, Gnef, a super strong player, but Kommy with the latest performance in other tournaments, surely the favorite here, based on that. Also, obviously, super high in the ladder as well, but that is both of them. Not sure if you can see it here. No, that just shows you mine. For Kommy here, though, overall ranking number 7. And yeah, really strong play here in game 1. Absolutely excited for what these two will bring around in game number 2. Paramarines getting some decent kills, and yeah, let's see if Kommy can stabilize a bit better early on in game 2, as this was a bit of a shambles. Like, the MX-10 RC is dying a bit too easily. That's super important tools, obviously, with TKS, as you don't get that many, but they also outgun everything on the other side, so you really want to keep them alive. The Kanonjagdpanzer push not really working out after, at the beginning, getting some good action here. So yeah, we will have to see how this all goes. Ryan Satome, thanks for the Twitch Prime sub. Much appreciated. Yeah, thanks for all the support, guys. And yeah, let's go into a short break, and then we will be back with game number 2 here between these two lovely players. And let's see if Pro Kommy can bring it around, or if Gnef gets the upset through here in game 2. Gnef, by the way, at the moment, where are we? Rank 18. So yeah, really, really high in rank as well. Has been higher in the past as well. So both, when it comes to rank play, absolute top level. Hey, Hex5, thanks for the Twitch Prime as well. Much, much appreciated. Giving that Jeff Bezos money to me. Yeah, gladly. Glad you guys decided to leave it here. And you got the entertainment, hopefully, that you asked for.
Hear that it went well, though, 0.
So here we go, game number 2, Gnef up 1-0, and Gnef doesn't want to change away from the winning system here, going with another 11th para action. But Bromi goes back to the division that gave him the most success over the last couple of weeks, as we see Bromi back on the second UK here, a division that just got buffed last patch basically. So we'll see. Was already pretty good beforehand. Is better now. The 11th got slightly nerfed, so it's still quite a powerhouse with its the Paramarine going slightly up in price, going slightly down in availability. Though on veterancy it's still the same, I believe. But yeah, going 5 points up, and that isn't the biggest difference though to how strong the infantry works and how strong their forward deployment is. And yeah, we'll see if the ERCs, this time we see a recon version from the get-go, and the ML60s can do it again here. Or if our player in red here, if Mr. Pro Kommy can change it this time around with the British forces. We see Gazelle rockets coming around the numbers. Milan 1 coming in as well. Foxes in 6 at the time as well. Being hot. Coming in here immediately towards Echo. And yeah, trying to counter the ML60s, which they do pretty well, as the ML60s can't really damage them. They can do it with the 50 cal, but not with the 60mm really. Whilst the Foxes, Rarden, autocannon can easily delete those, and even against the Sagai can deal decent damage if they get in range. Can do decent HE damage against all the infantry as well, though obviously if they get into AT launcher range, they will get shredded. Gazelle rockets, interesting choice as well here. Like a really aggressive start from both sides. Then we have a lot of the SAS already out as well. 5 out of 6 SAS deployed in the get-go as well. Still super strong units. They are really expensive. Most expensive infantry in the game, I believe, with 100 points. But they are also the best infantry in the game. They have forward deployment. They have special forces. They have an 84 and a Stinger. And they deal a lot of damage in CQC with the C8 here. The commando submachine gun. That really helps you demolishing enemy units in CQC. And no mix here of firepower means that they also only start lighting up at 500 meters, so they don't reveal themselves beforehand when in buildings and so on. So yeah, the SAS, absolute beast. The French infantry on the other side, not bad either though, so it's gonna be interesting to see how this all pans out. What is really important about the SAS though is the Stingers. They shut down helicopter play, and they also help out a lot in the air fights as well. So if you want to get some air spam going on here as the 2nd UK division, you can do that as well. And yeah, helping out your helicopters too. On the other side, we have the VLRA, which can be pretty helpful against the Gazelles here. So that's a nice start here for Gnef. And then we have a couple of Mistrals as well. Param and Legionnaire Paras coming around here. Paramarine Sniper SAS coming out in the north against the Sniper on the other side as well. Question is, how much damage can the Foxes find here? We have decent amount of Milan 2s. We have the ERC, so it's going to be interesting. Gazelle rocket number 1 going down. We see the Foxes lighting up here onto the Sniper SAS. Finding the kill there, but kill list so far pretty red. As we see some Foxes and some more Gazelle cannons dying, some Saxons going down as well. Not the most important units. On the other side, Sniper SAS, Mistrals, 50 Cults falling now as well. But we see more Foxes dying here too. And more Gazelle rockets. Foxes over here trying to help out against the Milans, but 3 Milans is quite nice. Jaguar HE, not with the bombing run that it was hoping for. Flying over a good couple of Mistrals already. And that's not how you want to end up here. Jaguar potentially already going down early here. Yes, going down. This is not the start that Pro Kommy was hoping for. Like, especially that Jaguar loss here now. Absolutely devastating. If that would have been able to come on over here, get a good bombing run in, that could have been big. But instead, it's just a lot of wasted points. Not even getting one drop off. And a really big miss micro there. Like, it shouldn't have stayed above the Mistrals here. It knew that Mistrals were in the area, it just circled, and yeah, the accuracy is great. Getting the kill there. Fox is still trying to move around. Still trying to be annoying. If they can get out on top of the Milans, this actually might be quite nice here for Pro Kommy. Getting on top of one of the Milans at least. Which is still trying to run away. Opening up against the Legionnaire Paras instead though. Getting sniped by the Milan over here, which now is out of ammo. SAS trying to push forward. SAS over here pushed back. Fox trying to come around. Trying to light up the the ML60. Doing a good job there. E4PC coming around. Milan 1's now getting shredded. That is super important here right now for Pro Kommy. Cleaning and stopping the pressure a bit. Getting maybe even some Mistral kills. Milan 1's still around though, and another one gets another Fox kill. No smoke there. Big mistake by Pro Kommy. Like, that Fox in that position could have done a good bit more damage if microed better. SAS disengaging. Mistral still coming around. We see another Harrier HE coming around. Though the bombing of a VLI not really worth it. 150 points. It's at least a 50-point unit, but still not sure if that is really what you want to hit. Alarm here outranging the VLRA. And the VLRA moving away maybe too late here. Yeah, good snipe there. Lynx doing a really pretty important job there. Mistral on the hunt at the same time though. Harrier GR coming in. Finds the bomb hit. Hey, Valos. Thanks for the 11th month there. Thanks for the subscription. Mistral not finding the Harrier. Alarm gets found by the Mistral though. Over here. But SAS actually getting into good spots here now. The Fox really helping out dealing with all the light vehicles. Getting the SAS into a good spot. SAS opening up against the Legionnaire Paras in front of it though. The VLRA Recon here getting involved as well, so it's not as great of an engagement as hoped for. Rover destroyed on the way back. Harrier GR3 here with rockets and HE bombs coming around. The Power Marine most likely going down here. Yes, they do. Good kill there by Pro Kommy. Not really that many Mistrals left here, and the ones that we currently have not really hitting. So the Harriers actually can continue doing some nice kills here. Finding some Power Marines, finding some Power Milans as well. So airplay here for the second UK starting to work out now after that disastrous beginning at the though at the same time ground forces not as numerous as you might hope here for Pro Kommy. Needs to avoid casualties here right now, otherwise they might be breaking on the front line quite quickly with the big investment into air right now. Gets the kill onto the Mirage F1C 200 there with the Phantom F3 with the superior missiles there, so good kill there. Harrier GR potentially can come in now. Sagai being hunted by the Gazelle rocket, just barely not getting killed. At the same time, SAS over here getting pushed back, and that is a really important moment here where Pro Kommy can't allow the enemy to break them. Harrier not able to find the ERC. Might be able to find other targets. Gnef on a +2 already. Most likely going up here in a split second. So it's really down to Pro Kommy to stop this here now. As we will go up to a +3 now. Harrier versus Mirage. We have another Harrier coming in, finding a hit there. Mirage actually going down to the falling back Harrier, as it didn't turn in time. So Mirage down to the floor. The Harrier number 1 is damaged, but it's not out. And the other one actually coming in here for a dive now. Trying to find a good kill onto some Power Marines. Most likely gonna find it. There we go. Mistral still not good enough here to shut them down. And this is a fantastic action here right now in the air for Pro Kommy. But the ground is looking quite different. Gnef still with the superior firepower there. Just potentially needs to get a couple more Mistrals here now to stabilize the situation. Finds a hit here in the north. Harriers relatively vulnerable. Only 20% ECM. Pretty slow as well. So yeah, all ground-to-air missiles can hit them usually if you give them enough shots. Phantom F3 AA coming around here now. We'll see what it can do. We'll continue circling here above the position. Okay, L60 moving around the north. Saxon on the fire. BBL trying to engage Phantom. On the hunt, Mistral going down. And Pro Kommy, yeah, stabilizing somewhat. Can they get the second UK air spam online fully though? Mirage trying to hunt the Phantom, not able to kill it. At the same time, Mirage actually getting shut down by the SAS over here. Double hit with the Stinger, killing off another Mirage. So Pro Kommy getting step by step closer here to air supremacy, and that is an important key in fighting the 11th. If you can start skybullying them, they have a big issue. As I said before, the Mistrals and so on in their deck, the only mid-range AA they got, and it's not amazing at that. It's fantastic against helicopters, but you don't want to rely only on Mistrals when it comes to dealing with enemy bombers and fighters. And that's kinda what Gnef has to do now. The fighter complement most likely starting to run low. Meanwhile, Harrier HE coming in once more. This time around, though, the Mirage successful in the interception. No AA on the way out either, so good kill there for Gnef. Whilst we see some warriors trying to push forward, Paramarines under fire, BBLs moving around. Paramarine soon to get mincemeat. It steps slightly back. Milan. +4 is real. Same time, Lynx Rocket versus Para Marines in the building. Doing a fantastic job there. Real RA trying to stop them. Against only the infantry helicopter did land. So, yeah, Pro Kommy starting to turn it around a bit here with the air support. Just has to be careful to keep this Harriers alive, and that might be an issue. Especially as there's still a decent amount of Mirage 200s around. And on the other side, no ASFs yet. We see a Phantom AA coming around now. Actually finding a hit from the get-go. Most likely gonna get a kill here on the Mirage. Yes, it does. Meanwhile, the Harrier in the north getting shut down by AA, but the one in the center actually making it out alive. Phantom not able to turn the tables onto the Mirage that was behind it though. But both sides getting out alive for now. +4 for Gnef, still continuing though. ATGM finds the warrior. Rover Milan finds the line of sight. Delhot trying to engage. For Milan positioning. ATGMs flying around both sides. Mirage F1C 200 getting the kill there. That's more rapid. Is it Rapier FSB1 coming around. Carrier trying to find a rocket barrage again. As Pro Kommy needs a new CP there, has a rover CP on the way, but still a bit out. And the now 800 points difference are pretty real. Milan 1 in this big tower trying to engage. Rover getting hit. +4 situation still developing for Gnef here. LGB coming in, getting shut down though. And we see some Lynx Pioneers with rockets. Trying to come around for the south. HE bomber still in. Good amount of HE bombers still in. Saturating enemy air defenses. Allowing at least the rest to escape. Mistral though is everywhere. Sniper and armored rifle. Lot of action going on here. Already a rocket with some nice runs. The recon trying to chase some units down here as well. And lately, a lot more blue than red dying finally. Phantom not able to shoot down the Mirage 2000. But might allow the other units to come in, and we still have some more Phantom action here coming in, as we have 2 of them around now. The first one not finishing the job. The second one though, can it do so? Yes it can. Another Mirage 2000 down. So the air superiority of Gnef dwindling and dwindling. They don't have much against it. Bedford getting sent back. Lynx H1s coming around here as well. Rover being called to at least fix one of the two situations. Phantom AA against another Mirage 200, another kill here. Gnef a bit reckless with the planes. Like, especially against somebody who has as strong air control as Pro Kommy, that is pretty reckless. Still a +2 though, so Gnef aiming at the championship, or like at least getting into the semifinals rather. But yeah, trying to move on here, showing that they are the real tournament player here. They have a lot of Steel Division 2 belts, divisions under their belt. And Phantom still flying around here. Can't do much, doesn't have anything to strafe with. Only has missiles here. And we see another Sagai coming around. Kills the Kangaroo supply. But at the same time, we see a bit of a push out of Gnef over here now. Alpha in a lot of trouble. Chinook. Chinook coming around here now. But Pro Kommy starting to capture the south here now as well. Starting to stop the tick. Potentially getting a tick themselves. 24 minutes remaining. Blue pretty on the ropes. Puma FAA though going down. That's big, big, big. As they are some of my favorite SPRD fighters nowadays. With how all the price and accuracy and changes worked out. Harrier getting the CV killed at least, but Gnef on a +4 timer is absolutely real here at this stage. Phantom and Harrier trying to shoot down the Jaguar. Successful there once more, but a new CV immediately needs to come in. Ammobil leader, the one that is asked and tasked with the job. Lynx rockets coming around. Meanwhile, Sagai Recon getting hit. Decent amount of support here for North, though if any bigger T80 ball would come in there, that most likely would still crumble. So a couple of challengers might be interesting, but not even sure Gnef has them in the deck. Because we only saw the Recon one, the ERC, which is rather unique. If we don't see too many of those things, as they are in general quite popular. Meanwhile, up north, Legionnaire Para and Power Mistral still holding the +1. Alarm trying to come in for the south. And yes, the guy hitting the Ammobil. And it is Gnef on match point here in this best of 3. So we'll see. We'll see how this goes. If Pro Kommy can finally stop the tick. Has the +1 for now, but still a long way to go. Area rocket rotating around, trying to get some kills there. And in the meantime, yeah, C90s coming in a decent amount of stuff. Phantom flying around. Hey, we need a CV down here for Pro Kommy, but the +1 still good enough for now. And 11th is falling off a cliff once you start to break him. And we might be getting close to that here now. We might really start to get close to that. As we see some Milan 2s here trying to be really sneaky. Gets shut down by the VBL Recon there though. A really great move with that. Killing off the helicopter there. If that Milan 2 would have been unloaded, it would have been really, really painful on the reinforcement roads there. So yeah, decent amount of red units killed this time around. Though still heavy action in the north, and the HE bomb actually finding the Mistral and the Legionnaire Para, as another Mistral just died before. So AA situation here, not fantastic. Pamela's not in the right spot to fire. Trying to aim up now, but the Harrier will make it out alive. And that is a problem. That is a big, big problem. Armored rifle trying to come around here with warriors, and a good couple of them, and the air spam still real here. More Pamelas coming around, but with the loss of so many fires, Gnef struggling to keep air superiority, and yeah, both of these decks can do a lot of harm if they have air superiority. Pamela and Mistral missing a bit there as well. The Pamela at least having a lot of ammo as well with 12 shots, so they won't run out as quickly. The Mistral should get a supply truck somewhere in the near future to not run out of shots. Well, yeah, this open top victory here now is really great for Second UK. They have the warriors, they have the challengers if needed. You don't want to risk them because the enemy has planes that can one-shot them. So yeah, we see instead the Terrier AT gun group that Fluorite pointed out in the last couple of games when we saw Kommy play. It are a pretty interesting unit here. Really cheap. Coming with the Saracen, which is not the most amazing vehicle either. One Mirage here coming in with the LGB loadout. Actually getting the kill onto the Phantom with the units from the ground at the same time though. Jaguar and Harrier HE still going at it. Harrier rocket there going around as well. We see the Pamela falling now as well. ERC going down, and it seems like Second UK might be able to win this game number 2 here based on the air situation. If we don't start to see some kills on the Harriers and Jaguars, I feel like the situation will go downhill for Gnef here quite quickly. That's the issue with the airborne divisions. If they get pushed to the 20-minute mark, they struggle to stay alive. And yeah, Kommy here got to stay alive with Second UK long enough. The opener was pretty bloody. There were a couple of engagements where I was not super impressed by how Kommy microed them, but they stayed alive till now. They still have a bit less on the battlefield, I believe, but they have enough in the south to at least keep the enemy from taking down, as you really don't want to get any more points ticked against you when the enemy has 1,600, as that might quickly go up to 2,000. And they also have enough here to just have this constant +2 take for now. Need to be careful to not potentially lose alpha. That's the only bigger worry I would have as for Kommy right now. But the Phantoms here hunting down the enemy Jaguar as well. The air fight's not going Gnef's way at all. And I feel like that's also really down to how well Kommy played the airplay, with Gnef this time around not finding the right micro there. Warrior and P4 do trade, allowing the Sagai to push forward a bit further. Really the only issue right now for Kommy, that these two units close in on potentially getting into the zone. Lynx Rocket doing a good amount of damage against the Paramarine, finding the kill there. Hellarm coming around as well. Harrier GR3 flying in with an HE bomb, trying to find some damage. Strafing down the Mistral, bombing the Mistral that was running out of ammo. Pamela finds a hit, but it alone won't be able to shut down the Harrier, as the Harrier is on the way out. Hellarm, Lynx is here on the hunt now. Jaguar trying to come in, dodges the SAS, will at least find one of them. Harrier coming around here on the other side with an HE bomb, gets the hit here to push the Jaguar out. Not finding the kill, but the Hellarm finds the ERCs on the ground at the same time. Another Jaguar HE coming in, and actually the SAS do it this time around. And there we go. See a surrender this time on the side of Gnef. Kommy going up to a 1-1 situation here, and getting us to the final match in this best of 3. So once more down to the decider match, both having one map win. And let's see if Kommy can do it like Burfax, getting the reverse sweep there after being 0-1 down in the first game, or if Gnef gets the victory here again. really big parallels there to the games that we saw in the first quarterfinals. Yes, Gnef also sticking with the same division. Question is, will Gnef do it once more with 11th? Or will they switch the division this time around? As Pro Kommy for sure showed that they know how to play against 11th when they get the right setup. The first game, I feel like more down to a lot of miss micro than to the play against the division. This time around, a good bit less, though the Milan ones here still finding decent amount of foxes in the beginning. Uh, and yeah, Pro Kommy and Gnef here going into the final decider match. So yeah, quick break, guys. Then we're gonna be back with game number 3, Gnef versus Pro Kommy. Don't go anywhere. And yeah, thanks for the follow. Thanks for the Twitch primes. And yeah, see you all in a split second. Air. That's 3. Air spam. No, not really air spam, but better air control than the opponent. That's how this map was won. As Gnef invested just as much into air, but lost the air control there completely. So yeah, here we go, the decider match. And this time around, it's Pro Kommy who uses French units. As Pro Kommy brings around the 5th Blinde, the French armored division here on 2 lakes. But Gnef stays true to the forward deploy, though not with the 11th this time around, but rather with the 82nd Airborne. Really strong division as well. So, yeah, let's see how this matchup will go this time around. For sure, really strong divisions on both sides. Quite different divisions though. One all about the mechanized stuff, the other all about the air and infantry. And yeah, helicopters really good on one side, relatively one of the weakest helicopter tabs on the other side. Good AA tab here, good air tab here. So this should be pretty interesting. A lot of roll on 3s here from the get-go, and they might be needed. Whilst we also have some Kiovas from the get-go here, some airbornes with dragons coming around as well. It seems like Gnef not going for the big Lima Zulu struggle in the same amount that we usually see. Way more into Oscar than I would have expected here. Kinda even expected an X-ray push with the amount of forces down here, though now we see more towards Zulu in the end after all. But yeah, the VBL Recon AMX 30 duos here that we see from Pro Kommy, pretty interesting as well. VBL Recon, even after the availability and the price nerf, still seem to be high in the course of players of French divisions, as we saw them every time with Gnef on the 11th. We see them here now with Pro Kommy. So these guys still seemingly doing quite well. Whilst we have Superflam, some Grenadier Voltigier, an MX-30 EBG, THE vehicle of the franchise here, with really short range actually. Only 850 meter, way lower than what you see in the AVRE or the American equivalent of these HE tanks. All of them struggling a bit, though the good thing about the MX-30 is that it at least has a decent rate of fire, though it has less HE than the others, I believe, as well. But it at least has a 6 rate of rounds per minute of fire. I feel like the others should get a slight buff in that regard as well, going at least from 3 to 4 rounds per minute. Then I feel like they would be a bit more justified than they currently are. P4 PC down here, AMX-10 RC going around, or another option, them ignoring building cover just like any of the rocket units do. That could be quite interesting and a nice niche for them as well as a kind of siege unit. So for the EBG, getting into 850 meter range, really kind of scary. At least the Americans don't have the strongest short range launchers, but they obviously have the dragons, so getting through that field of dragon fire, and currently they still have 1575 meter range, won't be easy. Stingers going around here, airborne engineers, a couple of airbornes going to see come around as well. Gonna be interesting to see how these units will do once we see the nerf to these handheld ATGMs, and how the Americans in general will fare after the today announced Dragon and Matty's nerf that we will get. And yeah, it's gonna be quite interesting to see how this matchup in general goes. I haven't seen this matchup too often yet. 82nd has been in the meta at other times as 5th Lane A, as there are pretty opposite divisions, and their strengths lie in other things. So yeah, let's see how it goes here. Kiova starting pretty late, only now coming around. Early capture here in the south. As I said, I'm quite surprised that we see these amount of units here from Gnef in the south. Maybe worrying that we see evacuation of the north from Pro Kommy pushing through with a lot of armored vehicles, but Pro Kommy is fully invested into the Zulu Lima grind fest that we see so often here on 2 legs, and the VBL and the MX-10 RC coming around here. MX-10 from the flank. Alouette, first victim of the battle, getting shut down there by the AA. Gonna struggle against the Stinger infested situation on the ground. MX-10 RC over here, trying to engage. So the Dragon could end its life quite quickly. And VBL and MX-10s over here in struggling as well. And yeah, there we go. One MX-10 RC already falling to the first Dragon. I feel like MX-30s might have been the better choice there, so they at least can tank one of those shots. They also have a 30mm that can light up the enemy quite quickly. MX-30 EBG over here, eating a pretty hefty hit by an 84. Still alive for now though. BBL Recon's going down. Jaguar HE, super scary unit, but on the other side, if we see some strong fighters, the Jaguar might go down quite quickly. The Stinger's not finding the kill, but finding some damaging hits, so the Jaguar will be out for a while. And we see some recons going down. Avenger actually gets picked off at the same time though by the MX-10. That's a pretty important kill here. MX-10 RC getting back. And yeah. No units here in the south. None at all. Pro Kommy not protecting X-Ray at all. So if Gnef realizes that, a push to X-Ray would be open. Same time, MX-30 EBG going down over here. Dragon not stunned down, finds the hit here, even though pretty stunned. And that is really painful. The VBL Recon not coming around in time here to stop the Fire Team Dragon. And that means all vehicles here in the northern part of this town are dead. We still have 2 more MX-10 RCs around. We see a lot of infantry now in the form of reservists coming in. Still no other tanks. No MX-30s. Which I really feel like they are nearly around the same price point from the MX-10, but they can tank a Dragon. The issue with them is that they can't tank a TOW 2. So TOW 2s, which we also have here in the 82nd, are the hard counter there. But against Dragons, they actually can tank one, and then with the autocannon are really pretty efficient at mopping up infantry in general. So seeing MX-10s instead, which aren't the greatest soft target destroyer, like they can destroy vehicles amazingly, but they don't have the best HE damage output, only 1 small MG and that light armor. I feel like it's a bit of an overinvestment into those guys. Like, getting 1 or 2 for the recon, yeah, sure. But getting then 2 more MX-30s instead, even the cheap one for 90 points as just an infantry destroyer, could have been a better investment potentially here. Reservists coming around. We have a Humvee TOW coming in. There we see the first MX-30 B2s. It's B2s, so not the B1. These are legit. MX-10 RC here getting hit by the Heavy Hawk. Roland 3s though easily immediately dumping the Heavy Hawk out of the sky. Reservists here in good numbers. No artillery on the battlefield yet. That's another strength here for the 5th Plane Day. They have a fantastic artillery piece. Humvee TOW gets shot down by the MX-10 RC at the same time in the north. That's a good kill as well. So Pro Kommy here right now with important kills. Loses the P4PC here though, so the +2 for Gnef will continue. And still super light in the south. But yeah, a strong artillery play here with some out-ones in this town could be pretty helpful as well. So for that, you first want to establish a front line. We saw in game number 1 what happened when Pro Kommy invested into artillery a bit too early before getting that front line up. The ML60s completely ruining him there, so might want to avoid those mistakes here. MX-30s trying to rotate around. We have Airborne Dragon though. We have a good bit more infantry coming in. Gazelle Cannons coming in once more, but there is a replacement Avenger. Gnef not doing the mistake of giving up the airspace here. Question is when Gnef will use air on their side for the first time. I'm not sure if they really want to use any attack planes, but F-15s for keeping the sky clear against any of the French attack planes most likely going to come around. Though here you see the power of the MX-30. The autocannon absolutely shredding the Airborne Dragon together with the main gun. Like the double combo here of HE power of that. Pretty decent rate of fire, 105mm with decent HE plus the Giat 20mm. They just shred soft targets with that. And that's what Pro Kommy lacked a bit in the beginning. But now vehicles die obviously to this quite easily as well, as long as they're soft vehicles, and anything that can't fire back just gets demolished by that firepower as well, and they stun down dragon teams quite quickly as well. We see another AMX-30. We see some Gazelle Cannons. AMX-10 over here being pushed back a bit. Supply truck going down. Infantry getting caught out in the open. Apache coming in. That is obviously quite the beast, so something that needs to be recognized. HE Bomber not really finding that much value here. Getting out now. The LAV being used against these infantry units that don't have any AT on them. So that's pretty strong. Rolands need to be careful here against the forward pushing dragons, as the AMX-10 did die over there. AMX-10P is a bit cheaper nowadays. It's, with the escort, a pretty cost-efficient autocannon in that regard as well, together with an infantry squad that at least can soak up some damage. They don't really deal much damage, these escort PCs, with their 8 farmers, but they at least can soak with 8 hit points. At the same time, Mirage 200 trying to go for the suicide here. Apache still alive though. The Mirage F1C 200 not. As the F111 goes down here with the cluster bomber run, AMX-10 RC might go down. And we see an Apache kill onto an AMX-30. AMX-10 RC able to dodge it all. So in the end, still a decent trade here for Pro Kommy. Just doesn't want to lose more to this Apache, which might get some more missiles out of it. Roland 3 rotating around, trying to get into an attacking position. Still no AT on any of this infantry. That's a bit of an issue here for Pro Kommy. One unit with an Apilas or LRC could really help out against the Lavs. The Dragon infantry here now opening up against the AMX-30. BBL Recon coming around from the side though. And the first Air-1 Fireteam Dragon going down. 5 damage still is pretty good though. Second one finds the shot, finds the kill, and the reservists getting eaten up by the 2 Lavs here in the city. That's a massive, massive issue. MX-10 finally finds one of them. Lavs really expensive, so finding kills on them pays you off quite decently. But yeah, they one infantry with AT in the town here really could have made that life so much easier. Lav now in the fight against the Gazelle Cannons. They struggle against the 2 frontal armor, but they find the kill eventually. Fireteam Dragon here coming around from the side, finding the Roland. Might allow the Apache here to dive onto the MX-30. So there is still a Mistral around as well, but Pro Kommy keeps the action alive here. So it seems like Gnef, with the left engagements on this town, really taking a bit the wind out of the sail of the counter push here. MX-30 is coming up in numbers again. Apache landed, waiting for reloads here. Yeah, getting that killed would be pretty important here for Pro Kommy. Needs Mistrals and Roland in good combination there to really get that though. That won't be easy against a good microing player like Gnef. Apache's absolute beasts in a matchup like this, where their ATGM deals a lot of damage to the enemy tanks. As Jaguar gets another kill here, but goes down once more. The Jaguar HE's not really what you need. If those would have been AMX of ones, I feel like they could have done more here. Like, they are the same price. And yes, that's the nice shiny thing with planes. They have a big boom impact immediately. But I think an AMX of one over the time that the 2 Jaguars have been used here with one single shot could have flattened the half of the town already. So I feel like misinvestment here going for the air instead of going for the artillery in this matchup. And we might see Pro Kommy paying for it as Gnef still keeps the pressure up, and there's no soft support here right now. Like, in general, Two Lakes is one of the maps where I feel like artillery beats air. There are other maps where it's the other way around, when the enemy can't efficiently set up a AA defense over the whole map, like, for example, Airport, though artillery not terrible there either. But Two Lakes, where it's relatively easy to set up a good AA network, artillery trumps air in the support fire role quite often, and this is one of those games here in my eyes where the investment into artillery would have been the better choice. Mistral here trying to get the kill onto the Apache. Apache running away. Can the Mistral find another shot? Ooh, missile goes out, but it does miss. So Apache still alive. Lucky times there for Gnef, as the Mistral had another shot. MX-30s still finding some more kills. We see some of the 30Bs here now. Cheaper ones, lower range, but still just as much HE with the Jihad and the 105 HE here on the main gun. So against infantry, they are just as good. And that is the important part. +2 still going on, but the late game, if Pro Kommy can stabilize here, should be better for the Blinde deck. Though they need to get that stabilization going. Commandos, special forces here, good DPS, killing the AB fire team there quite quickly. Apache trying to rotate around, but we have some Rolands, we have some Mistrals still around, so the Apache's not gonna have a free time here. So the lack of HE right now here raining down is a massive issue here for Pro Kommy. Like, oh my goodness, what a AMX of 1 could do here right now to these infantry blobs. It would be devastating. And we saw Pro Kommy playing with good artillery so many times in the last couple weeks, so it's surprising that we don't see it here. Like, yeah, Jaguar HE, I feel like it's just such a nice bait that you like, it's such a comfort unit. It gets you results quickly, it's a fast plane, it deals a lot of damage with its HE bomb that you can use against any kind of target, but they are also really expensive. They are also really expensive. And losing them sets you back so far, and they are just so much more vulnerable than an AMX of 1. And that's exactly what happened here to Pro Kommy, losing both of those. Gazelle Cannon trying to rotate around. AMX 30 against Airborne here, getting the hits. Dragon trying to push forward. Mistral in the VAB T20 RC trying to come around, bring some more anti-helicopter action. Apache's once more being hit a bit. Roland here needs to move a slight bit forward. Just barely out of range. Trying to get in there right now. Gazelle Cannon still opening up. Another Mirage 200C run. Finally gets the kill this time. Barely misses the Apache over here. Not getting the kill there. And yeah, Mirage trying to disengage now. No air whatsoever out of Gnef. Gnef all about the infantry and the helicopters. Obviously not that strong of an artillery tab in 82nd. Tank tab is Humvees. And the most armored vehicle you have is the LAV. So yeah, infantry and helicopters it is the whole way here. But it works out so far. +2 still going on. As we have a lot of AMX-30s now though. The AMX-30 Death Ball starts to become somewhat scary if the TOW2s fall here. But that's going to be the problem here. TOW2s, they one-shot you, and there is a lot of them. So the MX-30B2, shooting at the wrong target. I thought it would actually aim onto the Humvee, it didn't. F111 LGB coming around here as the next unit, as the Rolands try to find the kill. This time around, not able to do so, as only one of the Rolands is shooting, and the MX-30s start to get picked off here, and that's devastating news here. 2 MX-30s falling like that, that's not something you can afford at this moment in time. Third one actually going down as well. Oh no, it's going downhill really quickly here now as the Apaches move forward as well. The Roland trying to engage, misses as well though. MX-30s smoking off here. Roland finding another hit, but Apache will be able to get out alive. Jaguar HE coming in again, trying to hit the airborne leader. Does actually overshoot there and goes down again. And yeah, that's another Jaguar HE there, wasted for not even a kill. And that is really, I think, the most critical misinvestment in this game here for Pro Kommy, and costing him the first 60 minutes at least of the game, potentially the whole game and the whole series with that, as they just haven't done anything of worth, and they are so expensive. And now AMX-30s go down. With an artillery piece, this TOW2 would live an absolute dangerous life. Even the Humvees, you can at least keep out of important positions with it, potentially kill them off quite quickly as well. Only a couple of hits and they are dead, as they only have 6 hit points, no armor. They are mobile though, so they can dodge quite decently, but like all the stationary TOW2s are easy pick off. All the infantry could have been devastated. Instead, it's everything dead here right now for Pro Kommy, and I feel like this is game. Like, we have a heavy hog pushing forward, we have an Apache reloading, and there is not a single of the super important AMX-30s here around. And yeah, the MX30 Death Ball was the goal here of Pro Kommy, and it's in absolute shambles. Not a single one of them still remaining on the board. We see now the MX-1 starting to pick units off, gets the first airborne already killed off with the first salvo, but it's coming in really, really late to the action as Gnef here is taking towards victory. And yeah, the MX-1, not any artillery piece. Its rate of fire is really insane as it has an autoloader. It and the Hyacinth there, the deadliest of the 155mm artillery pieces, as they have such a high fire rate. So they can lay down damage really quickly onto the enemy. But yeah, there's nothing to spot for you here anymore. There is nothing to keep the enemy in place. The TOW2 here now being the next target. We have some more AMX-30s coming around, but they just desperately trying to fish for something. There's too much in itself though for that small push here to achieve anything. Like Pro Kommy kind of hoping for Gnef not having anything in here. So that would be a major misplay. A misplay that is too high above, like too far below the skill level of Gnef, who obviously has this all set down. Maybe, as I said, even investing a bit too much in the early game, but has it for sure secured. And yeah, TOW2 now falling. If that would have fallen and then fallen when the MX-30s would still be alive, that could have been a nice go moment. Instead, it's the other way around. And the TOW2 kill here doesn't mean much anymore. And yeah, we will see what else can be done here. There's still a good amount of TOW2s. There's still the Apache that nothing is up here against anymore. Fighters can't get through too much AA for that. There's only one roll on 3, only one Mistral which is about to get killed, and oh boy, the north is open here now, so Gnef even might go for the killing blow here against Alpha now, as it's only infantry CVs here, but one of them still has a Humvee close by, so it could load back up, and then go for a rear zone here, jump into this building over there, get the capture, get the W, and it is a surrender from Kommy already, so Gnef getting out with a 2-1 out of the quarterfinals. One of the favorites of the tournament falling here in the quarterfinals with Pro Kommy, the winner of the last super tournament. So interesting times here. Gnef in the semifinals of League Season 1. Pretty hype. One of the veterans of Steel Division, of Act of Aggression. Always one of my favorite players to watch as they play interesting playstarts, always slightly off the normal branch, though sometimes their normal becomes the new meta. Like Gnef has played 11th Para even in times when it hasn't been meta. Now it's one of the strongest division out there, and they get rewarded for their patience and their play with it. And yeah, Gnef really doing well here, getting the 2-1 victory in a absolutely strong quarterfinals here, and Pro Kommy just suffering a bit too much. Like the Jaguar G, yeah, it found some value, but the MXL1 would have found more value for him there. I'm pretty certain. Feel like that's really one of the major mistakes in this game. The AMX 10 RCs, as much as I said I would have liked AMX 30s at the beginning, they actually did fine here. Like the micro on them was great. The infantry compositions slightly off, a bit of AT there, and the laughs wouldn't have had as much of a great time. But as I said, the biggest misinvestment here was the air tab and the lack of artillery, and that really got punished really hard by Gnef, who had super high concentrated infantry that could then clean up enemy position after enemy position in the town fights, and that was unpunished by artillery, and the LAV here punishing the infantry really nicely as well, being the second part of this. Apache really well microed, and the AA could never get too close there. Well played there. So in the end, absolutely well-deserved victory here by Gnef in this series. And yeah, once more guys, if you want to support these players, check out the Match Arena, where you can support the prize pool for the tournament. It's crowdfunded as always with these leagues so far. So yeah, well played by both, and yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see how the other quarterfinals go. One of them will be played tomorrow with Yuki Po versus Team in Place at 4 p.m. CEST, I believe it is. So check that out over at T-Man's channel tomorrow. Wooden Box versus Mix90, gonna be quite hyped. We're gonna cover all of that on this channel next week as well, when I'm back from visiting my family over the weekend and chilling out a bit at the beach. So yeah, hope you all having a good time there. Yeah, with that said, we're gonna end it here for today. A relatively short stream, but I wanted to get this covered before starting to pack my stuff to move to my family and jumping into a train early tomorrow morning. And yeah, we're gonna leave you with this. Gonna send you over to the absolutely amazing Mr. Vulcan HD Gaming, who is playing some Bomber Crew. And I hope to see you all next time. Thanks for having a nice day. Bye bye, and have a good one.